Well, okay, so I'm actually making this video while I drive, but being that I don't want to take my eyes off the road, I'm not going to look up at the camera too much. But I just can't help but think about what's happening in this country right now between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and the American public. I mean, people are so divided everywhere right now, and this is an issue that has even gone further to divide, people that are close, families and friends alike. Everybody's, in the middle of this argument now. Who's right to lead the country? Well, who is right to lead the country? Who has led the country for the last 8 years? I mean, have you seen an improvement in your life? Or have you pretty much just kind of tried to hang on to everything that you got? For the last 8 years, you've been hanging on tooth and nail, trying to get ahead. But, what's difficult is that at some point, we run into a bottleneck, right? There's a bottleneck because the economy isn't where it needs to be. We've got a huge deficit. We've got a huge trade deficit. We're losing jobs left and right. Companies have left the country, and many companies have left the states. I mean, I'm in California, and companies are leaving here by the dozens. I mean, they've just gone. They've gone anywhere that they can do business and they can survive and actually grow a business. They've left. They've gone. And when they leave, guess what they do? They take jobs with them. And people are unemployed. People are looking for work. I've never seen so many people in this last 8 years that are homeless. I mean, I go into the supermarket and I see people that are regular family types, just regular family types that, a man and his wife and his children, and you think that, they're not walking around with the sign in their hand asking for change. You already have a lot of those. They go into the store and they're trying to buy groceries, and they walk in with a bag of coins. They walk in with a Ziploc bag full of coins, and they're at the Coinstar cashing their coins to go in there and buy a few groceries. I have my finger on the pulse of the financial world because I happen to be in a world that exposes me to a great deal of that, and I see how much has changed over the last 8 years. We don't have the prosperity that we used to have, and we have a man who is stepping up to the plate who doesn't fit the mold. He doesn't fit the mold that we're accustomed to dealing with in politics. He's not a politician. His name's Donald Trump. Now, Trump isn't the nicest guy. He's not the most eloquent speaker. He's not the most polished speaker. He's not even a polished politician. He's a businessman. He's a contractor. He's a developer out of New York. And if anybody has ever known anyone out of New York, you'll know that they're not the nicest people in the world sometimes. Nothing against New Yorkers, by the way. I love you guys. I'm a big Yankee fan, and I'm a big New York Giant fan as a result. I've always been an East Coast sports team fan. But anyway, that being said, what has Trump really done to offend everybody so badly? I mean, is it his wealth? Is it the fact that he's a multi-billionaire and that, he has more than his fair share of the pie? Something that he has fought for, something that he has fought tooth and nail to have. Am I going to get mad at the guy because he's a multi-billionaire and he has everything? He has everything that I wish I had. Am I going to just sit there and be jealous and judgmental and be hateful, be a hater because the guy has what I want? I mean, come on, you're going to tell me you don't want that? If you tell me that you don't want that, if you don't want a better life, if you don't want more money, if you don't want the ability to buy a bigger house or to provide for your families, you're a liar. I mean, come on, you're just a freaking liar. And you're trying to go with somebody that, maybe you're somebody living off welfare. Maybe you're scamming the system. Maybe you're selling food stamps, or you've been living off the system. Maybe you're driving a brand new car and you're living in some house someplace, and you got a pretty good life, you think, because you're living off of the welfare system, and somebody else is paying your way. So maybe you don't want Trump to get in there because of that reason. I can understand that. You don't want nobody messing with your program, right? Because he's going to get in there and he's going to take all that free shit away. You're going to have to go get a job. Well, you know what? Maybe you should go get a damn job. Maybe you should get off your ass and go do something for yourself. Instead of blaming some guy because he made some comment about a wall, about illegal immigrants, really talking about the bad element, not talking about the good people, talking about the bad element coming through. And now you got people like these women that, 30 years ago, 35, 40 years ago, even the prostitutes are coming out talking that he groped them allegedly and all this kind of junk. I mean, none of this stuff, they haven't even been able to prove that stuff. But yet you got people coming out of the woodwork, jumping on the bandwagon. Why? Because they're voting for a woman. And many people are just voting for a woman to vote for a woman. How stupid is that? Because she's a woman. Listen, if she's a woman and she's qualified, more power to her. If she's qualified and if she possesses the traits, the capability, if I believe that she can get the job done, more power to her. I will vote for her in a heartbeat, and I'm behind her. And regardless of who wins, I'm going to be behind them anyway, because I respect the office of the presidency. No matter who it is, I respect it. And I'll respect that person. But right now, I have a decision to make. Trump gambled on business. He lost. He went back. He took a gamble again. He's really good at sitting down at the poker table and winning. Has he lost a number of times? Absolutely, he's lost. There's no doubt about it. But how many of you have gone to Las Vegas and put a dime or a quarter or a penny or whatever, a dollar on the table and lost it and came back to try to win it back again, and you came back over and over and over and over again? How many of you people have done that? How many people do that today? So because he gambled and lost and then won, he's a degenerate. He's a piece of crap. He's not qualified. Well, what does that make you? You got bills, you got a family, you got a mortgage to pay for, you got kids in school, I'm sure. And what are you doing in Las Vegas? Gambling your hard-earned money. You're trying to win? Is that what you're doing? Come back and tell lies about how much money you won? Why do you think the casinos are there in the first place? They don't keep building these big casinos because they don't make any money. They build them on losers, man. So don't sit here and tell me this garbage about a guy who is actually coming out against the establishment, a guy who's actually fighting for you and me, the regular person. With inflation, with the cost of living, with interest, how many of you can go out and buy a house? How many of you have ever applied for a job and were denied a job or a place to live because you didn't have a high enough credit score? Because you didn't have a high enough credit score, does that make you the scum of the earth? Does that mean you don't deserve a place to live? Does that mean you don't deserve a good living or a career? Wake up, please. My goodness gracious, get off your high horse and realize that Trump actually stands for good. He's going to shore up the borders, which we need. He's going to bring back the economy. He's going to bring back manufacturing. He's going to do more for this country than this country has seen in the last few decades. I mean, I can't think of the last guy that actually took a stand for the American people. He's the kind of guy that we need to represent us on a global stage. He has the nerve. He has the ability. He's proven it again and again. Give the guy a chance. I'm voting for Trump. God bless America and God bless Donald Trump.